So everyone, I am kind of glad that Summer Wars is over and I am back with more technical videos, I guess. So I got a few requests, and I guess it's due to me doing quite a lot of gacha videos and not actually showing what I do with my equipment, aside from what you get to see when I'm covering the current events. So I decided, okay, you know what's the first thing I'm gonna do? To show everyone the importance of the Honkai Crystals and why they are so hard to get. So first of all, let's just cover how we can get our hands on these Honkai Crystals. So I think everyone knows that you can salvage them from epic weapons that you get out of gacha, or by using the anti-entropy imaginary cores to exchange for. That is the way I get most of my Honkai Crystals, by using these anti-entropy imaginary cores to exchange for epic weapons, to then be salvaged into Honkai Crystals. Exchanging for the Trinity Crystal Shard is also an option, but I just usually go for the entire weapon. Then we move on to the Cooperation Shop, and from that you can only get 3 Trinity Crystal Shards, and I think it'll refresh every time we get a new raid, so we'll just have to look out for it. And the last way of getting it is to be a good sensei, get enough School Inspector emblems, and get an entire Honkai Crystal. So, my personal opinion on how I select weapons to be salvaged is that I only salvage weapons that are duplicates, because you never know what you might have to do with a weapon. You know, it might become the next meta, or you might actually get a chance to extract and reforge it. Yeah, so we've pretty much covered how rare the Honkai Crystal is, and we're gonna look into whether or not it's worth the time and effort to gather 3 Honkai Crystals to fully upgrade a weapon. So to do that, well, I did a kind of solo against Parvati in the Memorial Arena. It's not really solo because you have to bring 2 Valkyries at least, so I brought Divine Prayer for the second Valkyrie. But what matters is that I brought her for both runs. Miko was the same level and using the same stigmata. The only difference was the Sakura Blossom being 4 stars in one of the fights and 5 stars in the other. And I know, it goes without saying that 5-star weapons are definitely stronger than when they're at their 4-star form. What I wanted to show is how much stronger they can be, and if it's worth your effort to try and get all 3 crystals. So, while we're on the topic of the Memorial Arena, I'd like to mention that I will be posting more videos on the Memorial Arena and the boss invasion. Maybe some on the Abyss, I don't know. It's currently being updated, so if there is anything worth noting and worth talking about, then I will post a video on that as well. But for now, it will be the Memorial Arena and the boss invasions. Additionally, I'll be covering the weapons and stigmata that I have, also how I raise Valkyries, which equipment and Valkyrie gets priority when I'm raising them. Basically just running you guys through my journey through Honkai Impact 3. So I started off with gacha videos because personally I like to see the rates on a game before I even start trying to play it. Honestly, the rates in this game weren't all the best, but what got me was the gameplay. I really like a fast action game like that, and I couldn't really find one that actually trains the user's skill, if that even makes sense. Because the games that I was playing previously were games like, turn-based games. I don't want to be naming any games because I don't want to sound like I'm dissing on them. So these were the kind of games where all you had to do was duplicate the current meta, and you could even leave it on auto and the AI would do everything for you. So, there was not too much player input, it was just reliant on the in-game stats, and I wasn't looking for something like that. So Honkai Impact 3 actually did offer such a platform for me. That's why I chose this game. So I didn't do all these boss videos initially because I understand that not everyone has the same Valkyries that I have, and even if they do, not everyone has the same equipment. But I've been told that, you just have to put it out there, and when people actually get it, or if people are planning to get it, then at least they'll have some information to go by. So yeah, I decided that, yeah, that makes sense. I'll start doing that. And before I actually did this, just to showcase the gameplay, I did the challenges like the Elegy of the Wind, basically boss fights where we all get the same equipment and Valkyrie. So it's kind of fair, just to show you know, how to be fighting the boss, but now I realize that it's not just about the boss, but when you actually get to look at another player's lineup, and because not all equipment are always the same, like some players might use Plank M on their Shadow Dash, but I don't have Plank M, so I use Mei Pool Party, and you can actually look at the difference between players if we actually do these videos. So I'm sorry for not doing this sooner, but here we go. So back to the fight. We are 3 minutes and 30 seconds into it, and it's about to end, and we will see the results of the 4-star Sakura Blossom. And there we have it. 3 minutes 54 seconds, 25,216 points for the Sakura Blossom 4 stars on Poverty in the Memorial Arena. So we'll be upgrading and moving on to the 5-star Sakura Blossom fight. And here we go with the 5-star Sakura Blossom run for Poverty, same Valkyrie, same Stigmata, and same boss. The only difference being a 4-star Sakura Blossom being upgraded to a 5-star Sakura Blossom. So, one of the key factors that I noticed when using the 5-star Sakura Blossom is that the elite shield of the boss broke a lot faster, and that meant I spent more time in the fight dealing more damage due to the shield being down, and every time the shield broke, it also meant that I was interrupting the boss's attack. So I know one of the factors in the boss fight is not only the equipment but the player's skill at that point in time, and I think I did pretty equal attempts for both the 4 and 5 stars. But I must say, the weapon did enable me to make the fight easier. And the way it does that is by allowing me to break the elite shield more frequently, and I don't have to spend that much time dodging troublesome skills. Instead, I can spend that time dealing damage, and more damage at that. So one of the reasons why I chose the Sakura Blossom is because, well, I was about to upgrade it, so I could get the footage for both 4 and 5 stars. But combat-wise, the active use of the Sakura brand actually shows how far the passive skills of a weapon can bring you. So unlike weapons like the Demon Blade or the Yada Gauntlets, where they just increase the elemental damage in terms of percentage, of course the active skill also gets upgraded, but what I'm trying to say is that they just give a significant boost in damage, whereas weapons like the Sakura Blossom actually have a great impact on your gameplay and how you control the Valkyrie as a player. And here we go. So I did 3 minutes and 54 seconds with the 4 star, but 2 minutes and 26 seconds with the 5 star. And that allowed me to get an addition of 5,000 points. So first of all, 184 attack power on the 4 stars, 289 on the 5. I won't look at CRT because it's not flat critical rate, so we'll move on to the active skill. At 4 stars, you deal 240.2% physical damage, and 400% on the 5 stars. For the Sakura Blossom, there is no change in cooldown or SP cost. On to the passive skills of the Sakura Blossom. So for 4 stars, you get a 60.1% chance of unleashing a Blade Wave, dealing physical damage of 120.1% of your attack. It also deals an additional 795 physical damage if the target has been marked with a Sakura brand or count. The 5-star, however, has a 100% chance of unleashing a Blade Wave, so you don't have to wait for the chance to do it, it just unleashes it every time it cools down. It naturally also deals more damage, 200% of your attack power, and 1920 if the target is marked with a brand or count. The Blade Wave has a cooldown of 4.8 seconds on both the 4 and 5-star versions. So using the Returning Blade on an enemy refreshes the Blade Wave's cooldown. So here is the main point of why all these upgrades make the Valkyries that powerful. If you notice, the damage done by these skills scale in percentage, and that is based off your base attack power. So when you upgrade the weapon, not only do you increase these percentages, you also get more attack power. So assuming that you look at the skill percentage as one factor and the base attack damage as another factor, increasing just one of them would result in a huge difference in your damage output. So by upgrading both these factors at the same time allows for an incredibly huge upgrade. So those numbers are just an example of the base damage from the weapon. I haven't factored in anything from the Valkyrie's base stats to the Stigmata stats. So up until now, my channel has been more of an entertainment, I guess, keeping up with the updates and gacha, and even a little on the Japanese server. But I think adding all these technical points in has been long overdue, and that's why I'm starting now. So I hope I did okay, and don't worry if I didn't, because I will improve along the way. So one more use for my dormant Facebook and Twitter accounts will be the addition of any information that I might have missed in the videos due to how long they might be. And you can head down and ask me questions if you have any. And of course, there is still the YouTube comment section. And once again, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys soon.